to People's Voice on VOP Television, the only station that is concerned about the well-being of Nigerians, where the stories that matter most take center stage as we continue to amplify the voices, concerns, stories, and perspectives of the Nigerian people. You and I am Adefunke Jaisimi. And today on People's Voice, we are shining the spotlight on the apex Igbo social-cultural organization, Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide, who has disowned a viral social media report claiming it had won former Anambra State Governor, Mr. Peter Obi, against contesting in the 2027 presidential election. But before we go into that details, let's begin with some of the biggest stories in the news at the moment as nurses' strike brings healthcare to a standstill in Nigeria. Nigeria's healthcare system is facing a major crisis as the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, NAMS, embarks on a nationwide strike. The strike has brought hospitals and health centers across multiple states to a grinding halt, leaving patients in distress. The nurses are demanding improved staffing, better facilities, and recognition in healthcare decision-making. Their key demands include the creation of a department for nursing in the Federal Ministry of Health, shift duty allowance, and upward review of uniform allowance. Some of the impact on the healthcare so far: this strike has severely disrupted healthcare service in the nation, with many wards empty and people unattended to. Hospitals have discharged patients and only skeletal or emergency services are available in some facilities. Patients are groaning as nurses in government hospitals across Abuja and other states in Nigeria withdraw their services. Well, on the part of the government and in response, the Ministry of Labour and Employment has appealed to the nurses to call off the strike. The government is willing to engage in dialogue to address the nurses' concern. That's the report from the Ministry of Labour and Employment. But Nigerians are asking, yes, you want them to call off the strike, you are willing to engage in dialogue, but will this be enough to resolve the crisis? Well, the strike has received solidarity from nurses across various states, including Kwara, Bayelsa, Niger, and Edo State, chapters of the Association of Nurses and Midwives in Nigeria, and they have expressed solidarity with the national body and commended some state governments for increasing nurses' salaries. The strike has highlighted these critical issues facing Nigeria's healthcare system and the need for improved working conditions and recognition for nurses. Well, I think it's okay for people to make demands, but at the end of the day, whatever dialogue wants to happen should be priority and should happen as fast as possible. But we'll continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates as more information becomes available on this story. Let's talk about Nigeria-Ghana relations. So, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, has visited Ghana to address concerns over the treatment of Nigerian citizens in the country. She met with Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Ablakwa, and assured Nigerians that the Ghanaian government is working to protect everyone in the country. Yes. That's away from that story. The Armed Forces Radio, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Armed Forces Radio. He praised the station for its role in promoting community dialogue, addressing social issues, and providing clarity on the activities of the Armed Forces of Nigerians. But netizens are reacting, saying that some of them have never heard of this station. What exactly is it about? Maybe a little bit of orientation, just so Nigerians can be aware of what they do and how they operate. Still on military operation, the Joint Task Force under Operation Wheel Stroke has neutralized an armed bandit and seized a cache of weapons in Benue State. The operation was carried out in response to credible intelligence reports on the presence of suspected armed bandits in the area. Well, there's still insecurity in the middle belt part of Nigeria as the retired Lieutenant General Lamidi Adeosun has blamed weak governance for the insecurity in states like Benue and Plateau, and also by extension most of the states within the Middle Belt. He identifies systemic corruption, ethno-religious tension, and violent contestation over land and natural resources as some of the factors contributing to insecurity in the region. Well, the federal government is doing maybe a bit more in the scholarship program, with the federal government announcing a 50% increase in scholarship grants for students. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said the increase is aimed at addressing rising education costs and ensuring equitable access to quality learning. And finally, in the news this afternoon, voter registration, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has warned against multiple registrations, and underage registration in Kebbi State as the Continuous Voters Registration (CVR) begins on August 18. The Resident Electoral Commission, Alhaji Abubakar Sakin Power Dambo, said the exercise is part of the Commission's effort to serve Nigerians better. Well, these are some of the biggest stories in the news at the moment, but as we explore these stories and more, we want to hear from you. Please, do well to join the conversation by calling us or texting via WhatsApp on 090-447-32605. 090-447-32605 is the number to call or text via WhatsApp to share your thoughts with us. And would like you to please follow us across social media platforms at VOPTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV to be a part of this conversation. And on YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. That's all in the news. We'll be right back after this break to put better perspectives to the position of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide on Peter Obi's presidential ambition ahead of the 2027 elections. Please stay tuned. Many thanks for staying with People's Voice. The Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide has strongly denied reports that it advised the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, who doubles as the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, to withdraw from the 2027 presidential elections. The organization's National Publicity Secretary, Dr. Ezechi Chukwu, described the claims as mischief-driven and entirely false, attributing them to clandestine starving street urchins who parade a phantom, ludicrous brown envelope Ohanaeze with POS as their address. Emphasis on brown envelope Ohanaeze with POS as their address. Some of the key points from their claims is the fact that they are denying the report. The Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide categorically denies warning Peter Obi against contesting the 2027 presidential election, and they've said that they are not cautioning northern leaders against supporting his candidacy. On their part, the organization emphasized again its commitment to remaining non-partisan and has not taken any position on the 2027 presidential election or endorsed any candidate. Ohanaeze Ndigbo also warns against the activities of those using its name for political manipulation, describing them as incurable mercenaries, unconscionable parading the Ohanaeze brand to execute the pecuniary bidding of their political paymasters. The Ohanaeze has also reiterated its commitment to the Igbo nation, saying that the organization reaffirms its commitment to the unity and progress of the Igbo people, prioritizing justice, fairness, and equity in national development. They also made public the leadership of the recognized Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide, saying that the current leadership of Ohanaeze Ndigbo includes Senator John Azuta Mbata as the President General, Prince Oke Nwadinobi, Deputy President General, Emeka Sibeudu as the Secretary General. Dr. Chukwu emphasized that the authentic Ohanaeze Ndigbo, under the leadership of these credible individuals, would never issue such statements. The organization urges the public and media to disregard the false reports and beware of those using or misusing its name for political gains. Well, it's no longer news that there's been a lot of speculations across different platforms saying that, even Peter Obi's kingsmen have cautioned him or have advised him as to his position, talk about contesting in the 2027 election. Some have even said that the conversations around a southern candidate not being able to unseat another southern candidate has led the Igbo nation to come out open to tell Peter Obi that this is not the way to go. But they've put out this statement saying that it never emanated from the authorized Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide association, and of course they are not partisan, and as it stands they are not endorsing any candidate yet. So we'll be talking about this and more on the show today. Joining me to do this is Dr. Peter Anosike, VOPTV in-house senior analyst. Good afternoon, Doctor, and welcome to People's Voice.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's start with the report from the Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide. Before I start throwing questions, let me get your reaction to their submission.
The submission is that, my submission is that he would have called the name of the tout that is doing this, because he knows it.
He knows the people.
He knows the tout. He knows the brown envelope person.
Ohanaeze.
Sure, and his name is Isuguzoro. His name is Isuguzoro. Understand me? I joined Ohanaeze Ndigbo in 2001. 6 months after my NYSC. I became the Assistant Secretary, Ikeja Local Government. From there to 2013, I became the Public Secretary, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Lagos State and Southwest as a whole. So this is what I know.
Okay.
But I hate it when people begin to try to be politically correct. And that's what it is.
What do you mean by politically correct in this instance? You think that it should have gone ahead
I've told you the person that is doing this.
But I think it was more diplomatic for them putting out the names of the original officials and people that matter.
Bible talk about shaming the devil. You cannot shame the devil without calling the devil's name. So Isuguzoro is the person that is duping people with the name of Ohanaeze Ndigbo.
So if he is duping people in the name of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, to what end? What might be the motive behind coming out to say that the Ohanaeze Ndigbo have sent a message out to Peter Obi, stopping him for contesting, or maybe, cutting off his ambition? Because
he is looking for brown envelope from Boname Tinubu. He is working for Boname Tinubu. This tout started this in 2015. Understand?
Okay.
When he said that Ohanaeze Ndigbo has endorsed Buhari. So from there, we know who he is and what he is doing. Understand?
So if he started in 2015, ahead of Buhari's first term election, there was 2019, 2023, and this is 2025. What is the Ohanaeze Ndigbo association as a whole doing about such persons?
No, that's what can you do? One, there's there's no law against the faction. Understand? Okay, so you are confirming now that there is a faction within, or there are factions within the Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide. There are factions everywhere.
Let's focus on this topic.
Don't pigeonhole me. There are factions everywhere.
You just said that.
And this guy is using the name of Ohanaeze to be duping people.
Is he using the name of Ohanaeze to dupe people as a member of a faction of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide?
He used the statements as a deputy national chairman of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, and deceiving those who don't know it. Understand? Ohanaeze Ndigbo has a 4-year tenure. But since 2015 to today, he's still answering the deputy national president. That's deceiving those. Okay, he was deputy national. He has never been. No, you said since 2015 he has been deceiving people. So what position has he ever held within that association? He held the youth leader for Ohanaeze between 2009 and 2013. Understand me? Okay. He held the youth leader of Ohanaeze 2009 and 2013. And in that 2013, I was even misled to go to his father's or mother's burial in Abia, only to be led in 2025 that his mother is still alive. So whose burial did you attend? That shows you the kind of a person he is. Okay, let's talk about the Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide, which is as an association of people that have values and are upholding it. Putting out a statement like this strongly proves that this is what we stand for, and we will not be a part of any malicious information that is flying out there. But how does Ohanaeze Ndigbo plan to address the issue
of individuals or groups misusing its name for political manipulation?
One, the thing that said, one, then what they've done here is to put out the name of the leaders of Ohanaeze and Ndigbo.
Right.
Understand me? From Senator Mbata.
Mbata, yes.
The president of Ohanaeze and Ndigbo rotates every 4 years, and it goes to all the 7 Igbo-speaking states.
Okay.
Right now, the last one is
7 Igbo-speaking states. Okay, so there are some states from southeast, then Rivers and Delta. So those are states from the south.
So as we speak, Senator Mbata is from Rivers State.
Okay.
We have had Ralph Uwechie from Delta State.
Okay.
So it rotates every 4 years. Right now, the position is in Rivers State. In the next 4 years, it's coming down to Abia State, which is A.
Okay.
Understand me? From Abia to Anambra.
Okay, so it's in an alphabetical order.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there is no hustle. Once the person there is done with his tenure that came from Rivers, definitely nobody is contesting from that state.
Nobody will come from Rivers again. It will now be focused on Abia. So Abia State will be the only state that will present that's aspirants.
Okay.
No, so this is how it is done every 4 years. Understand? 2016 was the Enugu State. Understand?
Okay. E. Then.
So this is how it is done from E to M, Imo to I. Okay. That was how Ambassador Obi'S emerged and died. Was replaced by somebody from Imo too.
To complete his tenure.
That's Iwanyanwu.
Oh, okay.
Iwanyanwu died. And somebody from Imo again has to complete it. That's Ozichukwu before he can now go to another state.
Okay, but there's a major issue that you've not seen. What do you think can be done to address this issue? Because people are concerned about situations like this. You just established the fact that this person has never held any of this position is claiming in the last, like 10 years or more now. And steps
10 years.
Yes, so steps need to be taken. What steps will Ohanaeze Ndigbo take?
For me, you cannot take him to court.
No, I'm talking about the public now. Let me wrap up my question. What step will Ohanaeze Ndigbo take to educate the public and media about its stance on political issues and its non-partisan nature, so that when conversations like this come out there, people would know that this is the work of mischief makers?
One, that to start with, Ohanaeze Ndigbo is not a political association.
Right, like they said.
It's a socio-cultural organization.
Right.
It is the apex body of all Igbo organizations. And why you cannot endorse a candidate is that people in APC, people in PDP, people in ABGA, people in ADC are all members of Ohanaeze. So every Igbo man is a member of Ohanaeze.
So like the Ohanaeze is an umbrella that covers every Igbo man.
So that's why it cannot be political. Because if he becomes if they adopt an APC candidate, what of the APC, what of the PDP, what of the Labour Party candidates there? So it's like a traditional ruler.
Okay.
Understand me? In a community. In that community, there are people from different political associations. So the Igwe or the Oba cannot be partisan.
Cannot be partisan or cannot be vocal about their choices.
No, cannot be partisan in the open.
Okay, maybe that sounds better. You cannot be partisan in the open.
Even as a father or as a mother, you have 3 children, you have a favorite.
Right.
But you will not let them know the one that is your favorite.
Okay.
Because it will be a very big mistake to tell your children, I love you more than I love this one. Okay,
as the apex body that covers every Igbo person across the nation, wherever you reside, whatever, I mean, across the globe, so everywhere in the world. The
national headquarters is in Houston, Texas.
Okay, that's a good one. So the body is supposed to promote the interest of the Igbo nation. which is something that is important. I mean, it should be at the core. But how does Ohanaeze Ndigbo leadership plan to maintain its non-partisan stance while promoting the interest of the Igbo nation, looking at the dynamics of our politics today, where people are clamoring for the presidency to come from the southeast, saying that an Igbo man deserves to be president?
One, the motto of Ohanaeze is be your brother's keeper.
Okay.
Understand me? That is the motto. It was from that to promote Project Igbo interest. So, but you must not be politically affiliated, because all the parties in Nigeria has Igbos are there. And so they cannot affiliate to a particular party. But in the issue of this is on the turn of the Southeast, understand me?
Right.
They can come out openly and say that for interest of justice and equity, understand, an Igbo man can be president, understand me?
Okay.
So and that Igbo man, if 34 candidates come out among the Igbos, they're not supposed to endorse anyone. Understand me?
So it has to be that there is just
they
one face, just one person.
Igbo interest.
Okay.
They are projecting Igbo interest.
But in a situation where you have more than one capable hands who are fit and have all the qualities and requirements to contest in that election.
That's why I'm saying they will come out with the statement that is for interest of justice and equity and justice, an Igbo man should be president. Understand me? In 1999, two Yoruba people contested, Onufandeye and Olusegun Obasanjo.
Right.
So I don't think if Afenifere endorsed any candidate then, because the two are Yoruba people. So whoever wins is still the Yoruba son that is in Aso Rock. Understand? So they don't discriminate. Understand me? But in this thing, that's to start with, Ohanaeze Ndigbo cannot even warn anybody not to contest, because your aspiration is you. Constitutionally, you are qualified to contest. So they cannot tell you don't contest, because if they do, they must be infringing on your fundamental human rights.
Telling you not to contest.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want more perspective on this talk around promoting the interest of the Igbo nation. I talked about the dynamics of our last election. We saw what happened prior to the 2023 election. A lot of people across different tribes, ethnicity, culture, and values were out for Peter Obi's candidacy, saying that an Igbo man deserves to be president. And this is somebody that has been governor, have held offices, and has qualities to contest in that election. You've not outrightly talked about maintaining non-partisan stance while promoting the interest of the Igbo nation.
No, in 2023, mind you, Abga has a candidate in the person of Professor Peter Omadi.
Right, true.
Understand me?
Yes.
So, but the focus was on Peter Obi, because Peter Obi, they knew that Peter Obi had more chances than Omadi.
Yeah, because Peter Obi had the nation's benevolence in my word, because people didn't have to be Igbo to believe in his candidacy.
So even a middle belt, understand me, we are saying Peter Obi, because they discovered that he has more chances than Omadi. Even at a point in time, I told Omadi, step down and support Peter Obi.
You told him that?
I told him now. We ran his advert in VOP radio here, so he was always here. I was his media person.
And you told him to step down
I told him that he should step down for Peter Obi.
But did he?
He said no, that he won't.
But at the end of the day, the support was massive for Peter Obi. But let's talk about the implications. So what implications does this denial have for Peter Obi's presidential ambition? I mean, having come out to say that we are his kinsmen, we are his brothers, and we are coming to say that no statement like this came out from our association telling Peter Obi not to contest for any election. So what implications do you think this denial will have on Peter Obi's
for me,
ambition?
For me, I would not take it as a moral booster because see, it's not a moral booster because he knows that it is not true. Understand me? He knows that it is not true, just like me.
What is not true?
That he was warned not to contest.
But you know, supporters, viewers, I mean, for stories that go
people who don't have
on the media space,
that's people who has no idea of what is happening.
Exactly.
Understand
so the clarity was important.
Yes. So one, I knew that it is not true, and I know the person behind that statement, but others don't know.
It's an allegation. You are not sure who brought out that story.
No, it's Isuguzo. I read that statement.
Okay.
I read that statement. So even his secretary, Isuguzo's secretary, I warned him that I'm going to.
Okay, so the man without office has a secretary?
Yes, Thompson Ohia by name. I called Thompson and said, I'm going to mess Isuguzo up. Understand me? He called the Isuguzo, understand? And Isuguzo told him that to tell me that if I'm calling his name on air, that it will be giving him publicity. Those that don't know him will know him more.
Knowing him.
Understand
so you
me?
need to pay for PR.
Understand me? So
but really, okay, let me let you land.
So that's what is happening. So Ohanaeze and Ndigbo should sensitize other people more, understand, on who their leaders are. So that when any statement is issued, they will know if it's not this person, it is not the authentic Ohanaeze.
Right. So when you say message from a clown, you know that this is a joke.
Sure, understand me. So that's what they should do. They should always be in the media, letting other people know this is the person that talks on our behalf. If it's not this person, don't take whatever statement serious.
Okay. As much as the Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide has come to say that it is non-partisan, and denying this is not about promoting any candidate, but what the values of and the ideology of the association is to be non-partisan. Do you think that this might also affect Peter Obi's relationship with the Ohanaeze Ndigbo and the Igbo community? Might this as well be an indirect endorsement for Peter Obi?
No, somebody issued a false username and issued a false statement. Understand? You said, that's not what I said. Understand me? This is not what, if you keep quiet, it means that you said it. So they come out to say, this is not what we said. The person that said it is not our member. So that's what they have come out to say. So P2B is a movement.
All right.
Understand? Wherever he goes, that's where genuine Nigerians will go.
All right. Tell us more about this Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide Association. What are the other things the association is known for, and in what way exactly is it protecting the interest of the Igbo people?
As a socio-cultural organization, one, you know, now, Igbo language, there's a prediction that it will die maybe in the next 60 years.
60 years.
Understand me? Because even at home, my children find it difficult to speak it. Understand?
Maybe you don't speak to them.
Because of our environment.
As I said, maybe you don't speak to them, because I've been to a lot of southeastern states, and even from the bus stops to conductors, they are speaking Igbo to you.
If you are living in the southeast, everybody around you speak it.
Exactly.
Just like if you are a Yoruba and living in Neki or in Festac, you cannot know how to speak it.
Because of the environment.
Because of the environment.
Style of growing up has changed.
Sure. So they have to make sure that Igbo culture will not die.
Okay.
Just like this Lagos Ohanaeze will be holding their New Year festival, that's by September. And they will also be doing Igbo Day, where all Igbo cultural dances will also come, promoting Igbo culture. Understand? Keeping it that so that it will be in the mind of the people. Just like people who were born in Lagos now don't know what is New Yam Festival.
They don't take them home? They don't go to the village? They don't travel to the east?
Many don't. Many don't.
So whose fault is that? We should hold the parents accountable.
Many don't.
We should hold you parents responsible for that.
And Igbo Days always at the National Stadium. So when children go there, they will see how it is done. Understand? Many of them don't have not eat a roasted yam in their houses. I'm sure you've not done that.
That can be me. That can be me. I'm very adventurous.
Okay.
I travel a lot, so and I'm eating actually. Even with this New Year, I've started eating.
Okay, so because during a New Yam Festival, you must eat roasted yam, which is not popular in our homes. Understand me? So they will know how to understand. So they promote Igbo culture, just like what is happening in Ghana now.
Do people eat it when you want to for New Yam Festival?
You must do it before.
Roasted yam is used when we're doing issue. When you want to worship issues, you do the roasted yam. So our cultures varies, and of course that's what makes us Nigeria. That's what made us Nigeria.
That diversity.
Exactly. But yes, it's interesting talking about all of this. I hope that Igbos understand the position of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo and understand the difference between the real, or maybe the original leadership of the Ohanaeze and the, I don't know what to call the other.
That's the most
faction.
important thing. Let them know.
Exactly.
This person is the person that speaks for us. If it's not him, it's not from us.
Okay.
So it's important.
All right, that's why we draw the curtain on that conversation. We'll go on a quick break now, and when we return, we'll come to talk about this update from the Ministry of Education, where Dr. Tunji Alausa has indeed backed the introduction of compulsory and random drug integrity tests for students in tertiary institutions across Nigeria. Please stay tuned. Now, time to talk about education, talk about the walls of the building, the walls of the institution, and something beyond sitting in classrooms. So the state of mind of young people going to school really matters. And of course, with where drug is being abused in Nigeria, I think that this call for action is timely and very important. So on the part of the Ministry of Education, led by Dr. Tunji Alausa, he said that they are backing the introduction of compulsory and random drug integrity tests for students in tertiary institutions across all Nigerian states. This decision was made during a meeting with the chairman and the chief executive officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Mawa, retired, in Abuja. So here are the key points from that meeting. Drug testing policy. The minister confirmed that drug tests will be conducted for fresh and returning students in tertiary institutions, as well as random testing. We will do it. Those were his words. We have to do it. We do not have a choice, he emphasized. A review of the current secondary school curriculum is also on the way to incorporate updated drug education. The minister plans to cascade this down to primary schools so that students can understand what drug is and the limit, so you know when you begin to abuse drugs. Yes, there are conversations around substance use prevention unit, where a unit will be created within the Ministry of Education to coordinate efforts to prevent substance abuse. There's also the part of inter-ministerial working group, where an inter-ministerial working group will be formed between the Ministry of Education and the NDLEA to drive reforms. And of course, very important collaboration at this time. The Ministry of Education will work with the Universal Basic Education Commission and Tertiary Education Trust Fund to support the NDLEA Academy in Jos Plateau State. So the rationale behind all of this. The NDLEA boss, Brigadier General Marwa, highlighted the link between drug abuse and the national security threats, including terrorism and banditry. It disclosed that over 40,000 drug offenders had been arrested and more than 5,500 metric tons of drugs seized in the past 2 years. He said, "We are fighting for the souls of our children. Without drugs, many criminal activities would not be possible." Dr. Alausa also acknowledged the urgency of the problem, stating that drug use among young people undermines education and employability. When the youths get into drugs, they won't go to school. And when they go to school, they are not getting a functional education, he said. He spoke about the protocols that will be put in place and all that. But a lot of recommendations have been coming. A lot of reactions have also been coming. A lot of people have argued that this is necessary. Some are criticizing too. Some have been able to make case to say that, oh, I mean, if it's about resuming and maybe, you know, when you are going to be going through this test, students might just boycott this. But I also want people to understand that athletes get to go through tests like this, and it depends on how the test is being done and what are the criteria and what they are looking out for. But in all of this, my opinion isn't what Nigerians are saying. I still have with me in the studio Dr. Peter Anosike to talk about this development from the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the NDLEA in Nigeria. Dr. Anosike, this is a new development, but for you, what protocols do you think should be put in place to ensure confidentiality and dignity of students undergoing drug tests, particularly in cases of positive results, because their rights have to be protected too?
For me, I believe in foundation, capturing them from the basics, understand me? Taking this education down to the primary.
So you agree with the minister saying that they are going to take it from the primary school and even introduce a new curriculum in the secondary education so that students can understand all that they need to understand before getting to the universities?
It has that to start from the primary, so that the danger should be instilled in them from the primary.
Yeah, he said they are starting from the primary.
So this is what will happen to you when you begin to take drugs, understand?
But the confidentiality, it's important too.
So excuse me, now, we're not talking about, if we start from the primary, then for the university, I want it to be part of the exercises you go through before your matriculation. It should be instilled, maybe on the one drug test. Day 2, understand me? So,
right, that's 1 week program.
Yeah, sure. Let a drug test be involved. Understand?
That's the plan, actually.
So, but the issue is, you have to first of all put that fear in them from the elementary stage. Let them know all the harm that drugs do to people. Understand me? This is what will, once they are growing up with this fear, that it will help them, not because they cannot start taking all those things from the primary.
From primary
it's
school,
always
right?
From secondary.
Right.
But if they have this fear in them from the primary, they will not go into it in secondary, which means before they go to the university, most of them are drug-free.
Okay. Understanding the basics from primary to secondary is quite understandable and it's important. But with all of these things happening, if they will start from primary, I mean, those that are of the age of going to the university cannot go back to primary school. So they're already there. They're already abusing substances. So for them, for those within that category now and that still want to pursue tertiary education in the country, what protocols do you think should be put in place to ensure confidentiality and dignity of those students?
For me, we're not talking...
Particularly in the cases of those that might test positive. The deed has been done, but they want to go to school.
Excuse me. They are not testing hepatitis or HIV. Understand me? This is... Understand? They're not testing people about that for HIV
but you know
or
how
hepatitis.
Name calling and all these things happen.
Excuse me. That somebody abuses drug. I don't think if the whole... if it's a kind of, if it will have anything like maybe somebody caught for stealing.
Okay, so you believe that? Okay, so let me break it down now. The way when you gain admission and you go to the Senate and there's a list on the board with names, apart from what you go to check on the internet, Do you think that the results should be made public?
No, it shouldn't. No.
Exactly. So that's where the question around confidentiality comes from. Before somebody resumes school and the colleague is calling him on colos or something.
It shouldn't, because even in the university then, I knew that when the vice chancellor of UNN was saying denounce cultism, or we already have your names. Denounce it before we publish your names, understand me? So that fear of your name being published, that's that. So it will make you to a kind of, even though it's cultism is a free entry but no exit. Understand me?
But they did it in Futa when I gained admission, and even when I went to Babalola University, I remember that there was a list by the Student Affairs Office where you see people's pictures and their names say cultists. These ones were expelled, the ones that were suspended. Then I remember during our induction, that matriculation week, they brought, I think they brought a guy or two who were cultists, and they told them to talk to us about the dangers of being cultists. And you know, that was quite embarrassing for them. But do you think it's a good thing to do? No,
the best way that, because one, if you want to stop a habit, denied access. Understand me? And if somebody is drinking beer and you want him to stop drinking beer, and a beer partner is in front of his house, he won't. What you have to do is to deny that person the access to that thing that he's addicted to. If he didn't take it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and he didn't die, he will say, I have not taken it for 2 days, I have not died, which means I can even stop it.
Have you seen people that fasted for a month without abusing any substance or taking any, not even a drop of alcohol, and immediately after that Lent period or Ramadan period, they went back to it?
Because it's in their system, and they have no, it is in their system and no discipline.
Okay.
So for me, alcohol, drug is doing a lot of things on campus. It is doing, and most criminals, when they are caught, you see that they are under the influence of alcohol.
Okay, let's look at the population of Nigerian students across board, from College of Educations to polytechnics to technical institutions to universities and many tertiary institutions. Do you think that
that's where the manpower comes
exactly from. Do you think the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the NDLEA, has the capacity to to go through with this suggestion? And also, if they say that these students will go and conduct the test and bring results, how do they address potential issues of false positive and contested results? So what's the way forward? Because how many students do you really want to run a test on?
For me, the best way to do, one, they can be conducting a random test after preaching it that stop drug abuse. Understand me? So random tests could be used. Maybe if they are in a lecture room, they'll just come without any announcement.
That's tough. So if they just come without any announcement, so what happens to whoever is caught?
Because you have already sent the message, stop this. Okay,
so if they catch any students in that capacity at that time, what would you recommend? Expulsion?
Suspension. Suspension.
It's going to be a tough one.
Suspension, but they should be made to know the danger that drug do to because it's one of the addictions that WHO understand me put out there.
But instead of suspension, do you believe in support systems and rehabilitation programs? Do you think that making available rehabilitation programs for students who test positive for drug use?
Where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the space? Just now, this thing that they're talking about.
So if you suspend them, how will they be reintegrated back into the academic programs?
If you suspend that, they'll have that to go and have a sober reflection.
Without rehabilitation?
Or
that becomes the burden of the parents. So once they suspend the child, the parents have to be the one to find a way to rehabilitate their wards?
Once deny them access for some time, that habit will go. Deny them access of that substance for some time, that habit will go.
I'm sorry to ask. You think it's so easy? Have you ever abused substance? Have you ever taken substance?
Not really.
So you do not understand
not
that
really.
There's a lot that needs to be done. It doesn't wear out like that. The system doesn't adjust to just denying them for a few days. People have gone into rehabilitation for months. People have stopped abusing substances for 6 months, 1 year, and something from somewhere just happens and they go back to it.
It could be association, friends.
So are you going to cut out their friends?
It could be association,
suspend them from
friends.
school, cut out their friends and all?
No, but this is a serious matter that drastic action should be taken because it is wasting a lot of students.
Yes, and it's becoming a big problem in our society.
Even in the secondary school.
Yes, so a report came out earlier this year that secondary school students were caught with, you know, there's the sachet one, they are called now. There's the sachet one, so you don't even have to carry the plastic. So it gets so bad that you have, even girls have up to 5 sachets in their pockets. And for this substance they use, some of it comes like tablets. Some of it, they make it in cookies. Some of it, they make it in brownie. They call something brownies. You might think it's cake. So it's so bad that even attending parties as a teenager now, parents need to do extra work because you might just think that you're having fun like every other person and you've been drugged. And I mean, the aftermath creates a thirst for continuous use of this substance. So it's really, really a big problem. I quite agree with you on the fact that we need to start a program from the basic.
From the scratch. Let them know the dangers of all this. Understand? Let them know the dangers of all this. Because if you want to cut a tree and you cut it from the stem, it will grow up.
Okay.
But from the root, it won't. So they should start that's from the.
So if the ministry is able to go through with this drug testing policy, how would they be able to measure the effectiveness?
One, it will take a whole month that to test UI or UNIDAC students. Understand me? So check over 200 and something, just universities in the country.
Okay.
So where is the manpower? Where is the resources? So let them start by enlightenment.
Okay, so let's bring it down home now. Let's bring it home. What roles do you think parents, guardians, lecturers can play in identifying first and also supporting students who may be struggling with substance abuse, and how will they be trained or informed about the new policy so they can adjust? Because I mean, when it becomes a crime, I think a lot of people will do better. But what's the role of the parents, guardians, and teachers?
One, the Bible says teach a child the way he or she should go, and when he grow up, understand, he will not. Children learn more by observation than words. Understand me? Children learn more by what they see their parents.
So you think those that are abusing it were not trained in the way they should go?
No, something is wrong. Now, an instance in our house, we don't use that word "pando" in our house because to me, it has association with beer pando. We just use sitting room. Understand? So nothing will bring that thing to my children internet.
That we're going to the beer parlor.
Understand me? Understand?
Right.
Beer pando. Understand me? So just and again, they know that I don't drink. So, but you see parents sending their children to go and buy cigarettes for them. Understand? Drinking beer and giving their 3-year-old children, 4-year-old children.
Sip.
Understand me? Oh yeah, just you take a little, you take a little. That's where all this thing starts.
But drinking for an adult, does it make you morally, not morally upright?
Even in the Bible, there's an issue that.
Doctor, you've not been going to church. You've been making so much reference to the Bible.
No, I read Bible before I stopped going to church.
Okay, thank you so much for being a part of the conversation today. It's quite interesting talking about things like this, but it's important that parents play the major role in all of this. But to our viewers, thank you so much. On the part of the Ministry of Education, it's important that they ensure that the drug testing policy is implemented fairly, if at all they will go through with it, and consistently across all tertiary institutions. And of course, a submission from my guest here saying that we need to start from the basic primary, secondary, so people can understand what they are getting into.
That's
how we draw the curtain on People's Voice today. My name is Adefunke Jayesimi, and I strongly believe in this project, Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again. Good afternoon.